Okay, back in the motorhome today, working on a few more projects. Hopefully I'm going to get, if I can get the glare off of that, well, where the dashboard is, that hole in the dash, I'm going to be putting the radio and stuff. I've got the materials to do that. My first little project, though, if I mentioned last time, my radio with the solar charge controller is putting out some RF interference only on certain frequencies, and let me just demonstrate. Let me just, there you go, you can hear the noise I'm getting. So what I have got is right here some chokes, ferrite chokes that will go right over the cable on the solar charge controller, and hopefully that is going to knock down that noise. So let me walk back to the back, open up the door there, put on a couple of these chokes, and come back up here and let's see how it does. Okay, here's the battery box, and I've got a handful of these ferrite chokes. I got these from N2QOJ, good friend of mine who gave these to me. So I've put a couple of these chokes, here's the controller, and I've got them on the line that comes into the controller. So that's the one I put them on for right now, and I'm going to go back up to the radio and let's see how that back does. In the motor home, I've got the chokes on, and this is the same frequency that I was on before. And let me turn the volume up. Volume's up, plenty loud, and that seemed to have worked. That seemed to, at least for right now, at least on this frequency, let me just turn across, see if I can pick up any noise on any frequency. But it seemed like there was just a very narrow band on 145, 146, 810. I think that's probably just picking up a signal somewhere. So I think we're good. At least if it's only narrowed it down to just where it's on just one or two places, that's great. So I'm going to call that a fix for right now. We'll see how it goes once I get it out on the road and get all the other electrical hooked up. Okay, let me get on with some of these other projects and we'll get back to you in just a little bit. Okay, here is my plan. I bought this really nice piece of finished plywood, almost like paneling, at Home Depot. Just got a 2x4 sheet of it, and that is the shroud that went around that opening to close in around the original television that was there. So my plan is to cut the edge off of this all the way around, and then cut myself a piece of the plywood here that will fit right on the inside edge of this, and put that in so I'll have this facing on the front of it, and that should bring the plywood up flush to the facing that is there, and then start mounting all of my stuff in there. And that's going to be a similar color to the rest of the dash, so it should match pretty good. I'm hopeful that it will. So let me get to cutting. Got to do a little measuring, a little cutting, and then cut down on that lip that's on this thing that goes all the way around. I think I've got a Dremel with a cutoff tool that hopefully will do that and not make a mess of it. All right, back in a bit. Okay, I've got everything cut and fitted. So there we go. There's the panel, and I think, well, I know it's a little dark in here, but hopefully that will show up okay. It looks pretty darn good. As far as matching up the colors and everything, I think it looks fine. I do have some paint left over from the inverter project when I refurbished it that I think is almost identical to the dashboard. But for right now, I'm going to leave it just the natural wood. And so I need to put my radio and the other things in there, the USB charge ports, the DC one, run some wire from the inverter up here so I can put a remote switch for it. So I'm going to just start mounting some things in there, and that'll be a project for in the morning. For right now, there we go. We'll talk with you later.